If you're in a season of questioning what matters, what to keep, and what to let go of, then this conversation might be for you. I've been doing a lot of reflecting lately. Looking back, I can see that some things I worried about didn't matter nearly as much as I thought they would. And some of the things I nearly overlooked ended up meaning everything. The older I get, the more I realize that life was teaching me all along. I just wasn't always ready to hear it. And lately, I've been thinking about what became clear once I finally did. If I could sit down with the younger version of myself over a cup of coffee, there's something I'd like her to know. I wouldn't tell her how to avoid every mistake. I wouldn't tell her how to make life easier. And I certainly wouldn't tell her that she needs to have everything figured out. What I would tell her is not to wait so long to begin healing. Not because the past should have been different. I don't believe that anymore. The truth is, we all live the life we know how to live at the time. We make decisions with the understanding we have. We do our best. Then life teaches us something new. And if we're willing, we grow from it. As I've gotten older, I've been able to look back with a little more compassion. There are things I understand now that I couldn't have understood then. Places where more healing might have softened some of the harder edges of those years. And places where I might have listened to myself sooner, trusted my own voice a little more, been a little less afraid to be who I really was. Looking back now, I think both things matter, the healing and the honesty. Healing the places that need healing and having the courage to be who you really are matter. I've also come to realize how important it is to know where I end and someone else begins. That sounds simple, but it took me a long time to understand. For years, I carried things that weren't mine to carry. I worried about things I couldn't control. I felt responsible for outcomes that belonged to someone else's journey. And because I cared so deeply, it often felt like love. It took me a long time to see the difference. Somewhere along the way, I began to understand that loving someone and carrying their life for them are not the same thing. When my children were younger, there were seasons when they truly needed me. There were meals to be made, scraped knees to kiss, problems to solve, and 100 little things that filled the days. In those years, being needed was simply part of the job. But as they've grown, I've had to learn a different kind of love. The kind that stands beside someone instead of in front of them. The kind that trusts people to walk their own path, and even when it's harder, to watch. The kind that offers a hand when it's needed but doesn't take over the journey. That wasn't always easy for me, but I've come to see that people grow through living their own lives, just as I have grown through living mine. And sometimes the most loving thing we can do is remain present without carrying what was never ours to carry. It's allowing people the dignity of living their own experiences. It's respecting that every person has their own journey, their own lessons, their own timing, their own path through life, just as I had mine. There are things I learned because I had to live them, not because someone told me, not because someone wished I would understand sooner, but because life unfolding in a way that allows those lessons to become my own. And maybe that's true for all of us. We can share our experiences, we can offer guidance, we can walk beside the people that we love. But we can't live their lives for them. We can't learn their lessons for them. And we can't grow in their place. What we can do is love them. trust them, and be there when they need us. There are things I've learned because I had to live them, not because someone told me, not because someone wished I would understand sooner, but because life unfolds in a way that allows those lessons to become my own. And maybe that's true for all of us. We can share our experiences, we can offer guidance, we can walk beside the people that we love, but we can't live their lives for them. We can't learn their lessons for them. And we can't grow in their place. What we can do is love them, trust them, and be there when they need us. There's a different kind of peace that comes when you understand where you end and someone else begins. That doesn't mean that we stop loving. It doesn't mean we stop caring. If anything, I think it allows us to love more honestly. I've learned that I don't have to walk someone's path for them in order to love them. I don't have to solve every problem. I don't have to prevent every disappointment. I don't have to carry every burden. What I can do is be a soft place to fall, a listening ear, a steady presence, someone who believes in them even when they're struggling to believe in themselves. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's what love often looks like. One thing life has shown me is that different seasons ask different things of us. The woman I was at 20 couldn't have imagined the woman sitting here right now today. Life asked different things of me then, especially when my children were young. There were years when almost every decision I made revolved around taking care of someone else. And honestly, that was exactly what that season required. But life changes. We change. And what serves us in one season doesn't always serve us in the next. I've come to think that wisdom isn't having all the answers. It's recognizing what season you're in and responding to it with grace. Maybe that's why I've become a little more gentle with myself as I've gotten older. I understand now that life isn't asking us to be the same person forever. It's asking us to keep growing into who we are. I've been thinking about all of this lately. The healing, the growing, the mistakes, the things I got right, the things I would probably do differently. And what keeps coming back to me is how often I thought growth meant adding something, becoming more, doing more, knowing more. But some of the most meaningful change in my life didn't come from adding anything at all. They came from letting things go, letting go of expectations that no longer fit, letting go of responsibilities that weren't really mine, letting go of old stories about who I thought I was supposed to be. And as those things slowly fell away, something else became easier to see. I stopped treating myself like an afterthought. Let that sit in. I stopped treating myself like an afterthought. I started caring for my own life with the same kindness I so freely offered everyone else. Not because I became more important, but because I finally understood that I belonged in the circle too. And maybe that's what so much of this journey has really been about. Not becoming someone different, but uncovering more of who I already was beneath all the noise, beneath the expectations, beneath the roles, beneath all the things I thought I needed to be. Sometimes I think about my children, my grandchildren, and the grandchildren who will come long after I'm gone. Think about the things that are worth passing on. Not rules, not instructions, just a few things I've noticed from living. That healing matters, that being true to yourself matters too, that people need room to live their own lives and learn their own lessons, that love doesn't always mean fixing. Sometimes it means standing beside someone and reminding them that they're not alone. And if I could leave behind a few simple words, they might be these. Keep your conscience clean. Stay true to yourself. Treat people kindly. And remember that you deserve the kindness too. Don't lose yourself trying to become who someone else thinks you should be. And let life teach you what it came to teach you. Because some things can only be understood by living them. Some lessons arrive through experience. Some truths reveal themselves in their own time. And every life unfolds a little differently. That's part of the beauty of it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Whether you've been here from the beginning, found your way here today, or are watching this years from now. If you are one of my children, one of my many grandchildren, a future grandchild I may never get to meet, or simply someone who found their way here and needed this conversation today, thank you for being here. Take what helps, leave the rest. Until next time, take care of your heart, stay kind, and remember, we're doing this together. Talk soon. Peace.